What's up, guys? So the residential screening process is an essential part of the leasing process if you are representing the landlords. You gotta pick the right applications, go through the whole process, and you wanna get those vacancies filled. So here's a step-by-step breakdown on what the residential application process and screening process is like. Number one is pre-screening questions. You might want to save time by asking the applicant a few pre-screening questions to save time and make sure that they'll actually be a good fit for the unit. There's a few questions to ask, and here's why they are relevant. When are you looking to move? You want to make sure that their move-in date aligns with the vacancy date. How many people will live in the unit? There might be occupancy limits. Do you have pets? Pet policies might apply. Do you smoke? The unit will most likely be a smoke-free zone. What is your monthly income? You want to make sure that the applicant can actually afford the unit. Have you ever been evicted or convicted of a felony? You might want to check if the applicant has any red flags, but be careful how this is used. And a major tip when you do the pre-screening questions, be professional, be nice, just ask the questions normally, make sure that you don't judge them, just be professional. Number two is the rental application. Make sure you use a detailed rental application form, and most importantly, make sure that form complies with the local and state laws. On the rental application form, here's a few essential information you need to collect. Full name, social security number, driver's license, and state ID number. Contact information, employment and history, full legal name, social security number, driver's license, and state ID number, contact information, phone number and email address, employment and income history. You want to get their employer name, job title, length of employment, and salary. Previous and current addresses. You want to get the full legal name, social security number, driver's license, and state ID number. Contact information, their phone number and email address. Employment and income history. You want to get their employer name, phone number, email address, job title, length of employment, their salary. Previous and current addresses. Minimum 2 to 3 years is preferred. Landlord references with contact info, personal or professional references, emergency contacts, number and type of pets, vehicle information, and most importantly, the authorization for a background and credit check. Also, a huge tip with the rental application, just send them a digital copy so they could fill it out and send it back very easily. Number three is the credit report. You want to run their credit so you could take a look at the applicant's financial responsibility and their financial history. Now, here's what to look for in the credit report. Their credit score. A 600 plus is generally acceptable, but not the best, and a 700 plus report is strong. Debt to income ratio. Their payment history. You want to look at their late payments, charge-offs, and their defaults. Collections or bankruptcies. Number of active credit lines and total debt. And how do you actually obtain their credit report? You want to use a service like TransUnion, Experian, RentPrep, or through a property management platform. Number four is the background check. You want to check all public records of the applicant and any criminal record. So there's a few different types of background checks. There's a criminal history with the federal, state, and local, eviction records from the National Eviction Database search, sex offender registry check, terror watch list search from the OFAC list, and the identity verification. And a little bit of a legal note, follow the state and local laws, how you could actually run these background checks because they're different in every state. Number five is the employment and income verification. You want to make sure that the tenant or the applicant can actually afford the unit. So how do you actually verify this? You want to ask for their pay stubs, ask for their last 2 to 3 months of pay stubs, their tax returns or 1099s, bank statements, employment verification letter, and you could actually call the employer with the tenant consent. A little bit of an industry standard is you want to make sure that the applicant earns at least 2 or 3 times the income of the rent amount. Number six is landlord references. You want to ask their previous landlords about their history, if they've paid on time, their general behavior, if they've kept the place clean, and all those kind of things. So here's what to ask the current and previous landlords. Did they pay rent on time? Were there any lease violations? Did they keep the property in good condition? Was proper notice given before moving out? Would you rent to them again, which is a huge one? A little bit of a tip, be cautious about fake references. I see this all the time in applications I deal with. Spend a few minutes and actually call or email the references and the landlords listed on the application, and make sure everything adds up. Number 7 is interview. Try to do an in-person interview or a phone interview. These few minutes can reveal a lot about the people. So what is the purpose of the interview? To clarify inconsistencies or concerns, set expectations, quiet hours, maintenance policies, those kind of things. It's great to establish a rapport with the tenants. This can be very helpful in the future and just overall, running the property smoothly. And explain next steps, lease signing, deposit, move-in timelines, those kind of things. And a little bit of a tip, just keep everything professional. Don't do anything or say anything can lead to discrimination, and just be nice, composed, professional. And again, your goal is to help them find a place to live and get the best application or tenant for the landlord that you're representing. Number 8 is a decision and notifying the applicant. There's a couple different things you want to do if the applicant is approved or denied. If approved, send approval in writing. You could text them or email them or send a formal letter. Send the lease for review and signature. Collect security deposit and first month's rent. Provide a move-in checklist. If denied, provide an adverse action notice if based on credit or background. Include the name of the reporting agency and a note on their right to dispute the report. Be mindful to fair housing rules. Do not disclose reasons related to protected characteristics. A little bit of a tip, keep record on all these things. Keep the documents like the background check or credit report or all email correspondence for a couple of years, just in case something might happen in the future, or if they want to dispute why they may have gotten denied. You want to have all the records so you can properly explain to them. Number 9, which is very important, is the legal compliance reminders. Here's a little reminder on the Fair Housing Act. You may not discriminate based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, and disability. There's also the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That includes you must get written consent to run a credit/background check, and you must issue an adverse action notice if the application is denied due to information in those reports. So that is the overall step-by-step process of the tenant screening application process. It's pretty easy, not too bad. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. And if you're a leasing agent or a property manager, good luck, super easy. It's a very important part of the job to find the right tenants for the properties that you represent. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and click like on the video, and feel free to reach out anytime via Instagram.